helpful to quite a few people. That mentoring chapter packed a punch, and it was just a slice of the conversations I've had with and stories I've heard from so many young women who I've tried to help during the first phase of their careers. Those early years are when you get your first job and love going to work every day. Then, suddenly, you grow out of that first position and can't wait to get on to your next role. That's also when you're trying to decide what direction to go in and whether you even want to be in a particular industry or follow a certain profession. You may start questioning your choices from college. What you majored in may have been interesting, but it may not have been a good choice for helping you reach your financial goals. Yes, Dad, I know I should have taken more business courses. Those early career days are when you start asking yourself, when should I leave a job? How do I move on without burning a bridge? How can the next move get me closer to achieving long-term goals? You might notice that young men your age seem to get promoted sooner than young women. You think that's unfair, but are unsure how to deal with it. Trust me, taking up smoking cigars, going out for beers, or buying expensive golf clubs to try to fit in with them is not the answer. The first few years can be exciting and fun, while also being confusing and difficult. Hey, they call it work for a reason. And soon enough, you're making the transition from your first job to your second or third job. That's when, hopefully, everything starts falling into place. But that's also when the decisions you make begin to carry a lot more weight. The stakes are raised. In your mid to late 20s, you gain more responsibility, and you work much longer hours. It's also when you're trying to be taken more seriously, and you may have to fight to be in the room for important meetings. You're not the boss yet, but you're also not a junior staffer anymore. You're expected to get results and earn your keep. The pressure builds. And all of this is going on while you're trying to have an enjoyable personal life as well. You might be getting pressure from family or friends for working too much. You're wondering when you're going to meet a stable, responsible, goal-oriented, and attractive life partner who makes you laugh like crazy. You want to get a dog, but don't do it yet. You want it all, and quickly, but you realize it is not happening as you imagined it would. Your thoughts race. I'm even talking faster now. How do I know what you're thinking? Because not long ago, I was you. I went through all of this. I made mistakes along the way, many, in fact. I wish I had this book when I was first starting out. That said, everything turned out well. I even got the dog. And here's what I want you to know. You're not alone in thinking or feeling the way you do. There are millions of young women in your age group that are trying to figure it out. Sometimes knowing that you aren't the only one with these worries can help. No, you're not crazy. And I'm here to tell you there are ways to push through this period and come out happier and more fulfilled on the other side. There is no magic formula. If it were that simple, everyone would know what to do. But there are some basic and important things every young woman facing these decisions should know. So, why learn the hard way? As the book's subtitle says, I'm a former young woman myself. I've already made the mistakes. I've been through it. Let me tell you what I learned. I've always found career decision-making fascinating, and I have an open door for young professionals who come to me for advice. Guys come to see me too. A lot of this advice applies to everyone. I try to help them feel better when they're leaving my office than when they entered. It almost always works. But over the last couple of years, I've noticed something that's really started to bother me. The quarter-life crisis, that's age 25 or so, that I wrote about in 2015, is following young women well into their 30s and beyond. This is how it usually goes. You've moved up from your first job, but you're not quite at the level you think you should be in terms of stature or compensation. You feel like you've done everything right. Your reviews from your supervisors are solid. You've brought a few.